Welcome to the Your Leadership Legacy podcast. My name is Tina Paulus-Krause, and I'm so excited to bring you this next podcast dedicated to you high performers out there who want to reinvent yourself, reinvent your business, maybe your career, all of it. This podcast is all about being dedicated to transformation and being the best possible leader of yourself and others that you can be in order to create a legacy that lives on. Welcome to Your Leadership Legacy. My name is Tina Paulus-Krause. I am the founder and CEO of True You Teams. And here we go. Hey everyone, it is Tina Paulus-Krause. We are on Your Leadership Legacy podcast, and I'm so excited because today we have Lorna Sherland in the house, and I'm so excited. Lorna,
let's go.
Hey Lorna.
Hey Tina, thank you for having me here today. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing me with your audience, and I'm excited about what we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah, before I have you introduce yourself, I want to just let everyone know I'm so excited to have you on the show today because you and I have walked shoulder to shoulder for the last couple of years in programs and leadership development and all that stuff. And I just think that you are like a massive powerhouse. I love your way of being. I love who you be. I love what you're creating in the world. And so I'm really excited to have you on the show today and have everybody get to meet you. So let's start off with introducing yourself and just telling us a little bit about who Lorna is.
Okay, so thank you again for having me. And yeah, we've been through a bunch. It's still 8. Oh my gosh, I'm just thinking it's been a while. It's more than a couple of years, girlfriend.
It really is, actually.
Yeah. So my name is Lorna Sherland, and by trade, I am a real estate broker. I've been a real estate broker for over 22 years. And in the transformation world, I am a transformation and leadership coach and a business strategist. So I am passionate about everything that I do. And my vision is to actually support female entrepreneurs into their power, into creating legacy, not just legacy, living legacies for themselves in the now, right? And creating legacies for their families, right? Generational legacy. It's something that I believe has not been on the forefront in this country for women, and there are only a minuscule few who participate in that realm. So my intention is to bring other women into that, including my damn self, by the way. Can I say that on podcast?
Yes, absolutely.
Including myself, to bring us into that realization that we can create whatever we want, whenever we want, and it's available to all of us, and we get to stand in our power and get into the game just like men.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think holds people back from that, Lorna? I know that you coach hundreds of people. What holds them back from truly stepping into that?
Yeah, so it's a lot of things, right? And the one thing I talk about a lot is the money story, right? Is the money story around what we experience as children, what we experience in our culture, what we experience, even in our own environment, when we grow up, when we get into adulthood, and now we get into different communities. We have this experience, and we create stories, right? So like, for instance, for myself, when I was growing up, one of the things, and I just saw this last night for myself, it was so interesting. One of the things that I realized is that even in my own family, there was a conversation around better than, right? Good enough, right? If you don't have enough money, you can't live in a certain neighborhood. And that is prevalent even now, as I see it in real estate. As I'm selling real estate, it's kind of like that redlining word, right? If anybody's in real estate, y'all know the word redlining. It's that same conversation, right? It's that same conversation. So growing up, even though I grew up in Jamaica, we had the same cultural issue, right? And then within that, in the familial context, you have people who have risen above and are wealthier than other people in the same family. And so the people who are on the lower echelon, they create stories that they can do that, I can't, or they created that, oh, that one is better than me and they treat me different. we create all kinds of stories. And that's what I believe is the biggest thing that stops us from moving into everybody has it. Everybody has the gift in them. It's a matter of, are you willing to look, see what you got? You know, the Bible says, stir up the gift in you. You got to stir it up, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I love where you're going, because it's really money mindset. It's about
Yeah.
mindset, and it's about the programming that we grew up with. And then, so I love your word, the stories, because it's about the stories that we tell ourselves about what we can create or what we can't create.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's really, really powerful, because if I'm thinking about a money mindset, talk
Mhm.
about some of the things that people, like the opportunities that people miss because their money mindset is fixed.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
talk about what that looks like.
So even before talking about that, so there are a couple of things that people, well, starting with number one, awareness, right? That is the first step in realizing that you even have a money mindset. It's the willingness to become aware that that exists. Even if you have money, I'll tell you a story. I do a lot of studies of people from back in the day, you know, like Earl Nightingale, Jim Rohn, and I can't remember which one of them told the story of the woman who was a millionaire, right? And what happened was she became a millionaire because of her husband. Husband worked hard. He passed away. He left her this inheritance, and the story that she told herself was that it was a burden. She was a millionaire, for crying out loud. She told herself the story that this was a burden. Do you know what happened?
What?
She said to herself, I don't want this. I don't want to live like this. I wish I could live in my car. Pay attention. Listen to this one, guys. I don't want this. I wish I could live in my car. I think we're moving into a different conversation now, because I'm going to bring it there. I wish I could live in my car. Do you know where she ended up living?
In her
In
car.
her car. She lost everything. Why am I sharing this with you? The power of your words, what you say to yourself about yourself. So yes, it's the money conversation, and it is what you say about yourself to yourself. Remember I said in the beginning, in the same family, somebody could say, oh, that one is better than me because,
The
yeah,
story.
but they're not even thinking about you. They're only thinking about where they're going. And you over here thinking to yourself and saying to yourself, I'm not good enough. It's the same thing, right? It's a story. It's a through line of the story. So the power of your tongue is super powerful to guide you into wherever you want to go. It's available to everybody. You just get to choose where, you know, where you want to take it for yourself.
Right. And
Right?
there's so many sayings and quotes out there, right? We create our reality. What you think about, you bring about. You know what, our words, it's like a 70%. I don't know the exact percent right now, but when you speak words out into the universe, they're like, you're manifesting your future, you're manifesting your reality. And so I love that you presence that. So I know that you're a master coach. You're beautiful, you're awesome, you're wonderful. I've seen you in action. It's amazing. So talk to us about how you support people that have that kind of a mindset coming
Mhm.
into a different mindset. How do you really coach them through this?
So, like I said, awareness is the first thing. If they're willing, once they're willing to do that, then we set intentions. We set the goal of where they want to go. So it's kind of like I say I use the word goal, but I really mean vision. Uh, without so, and I'm a Bible girl, so it's gonna come up with. The Bible says, "Without a vision, the people perish." Right, but your vision is really your lighthouse. And I mean, it's like that for anything in your life, right? So it's not just the money, it's everything in your life. So with my clients, I take them to their vision. And by the way, because it's not mainstream, is the word I will use. It's not mainstream to have a vision, right? So it takes a minute to get people into their vision. And even when they get in their vision, it takes the coaching and the mentoring to keep them in their vision so that they get to the goal. So starting with the end in mind, you always hear that quote. That is vision. You start with the vision and then you work it backwards. So when I work with my clients, that's how we do it. Start with a vision. What do you want to create? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Right? When it comes to money, okay, what's the amount of money you want to create? And when you create that money, what comes? What are you feeling? Where are you? You get into that energy of what that feels like, what that looks like, the life you're living, who are you with? Right. And then we work that number backwards in the business strategy to now and say, okay, so today we get to do this. You get to go through that process and it takes you all the way back to the vision.
Yeah,
And it's a
I love it.
process.
It totally is a process. And I love how you presence the fact that that vision is not mainstream, because it's really it. Here's what's mainstream. What's mainstream is on December 15th or 20th, I'm going to think about what do I want my New Year's resolution to be next year. And then I'm going to commit to my New Year's resolution. And then statistics say that 80% of the time by the end of January, everyone has thrown their New Year's resolution out the door. So vision, and I think a lot of times people think it has to be this big grand thing. No, your vision might be that you want to improve a relationship. It might be you want to have a promotion. It might be you want to lose some weight. It might be you want to learn how to self-care. It doesn't, there's no big or small to it. So I want you to talk about like how you really work people into the consistency of staying with their vision.
Yeah. So, and I want to piggyback on what you just said just now, that it doesn't have to be big. And that's one of the challenges, right? Like even myself, going through life, I used to have huge goals. And then what I realized was, okay, Lorna, take it one step at a time. Earl Nightingale talks about, like a good leader, not even a leader, we call it, who's the ship thing, the captain of the ship, right? The captain of the ship knows that he can only arrive at one port at a time. When he said that, I was like,
boom.
Because we have so much that we want to accomplish, and not knowing that it actually is a setback, it's a setup for a setback, because we get frustrated when we're not moving fast enough, when all the things that we want to achieve is not coming quick enough, right? So I tell my clients, what's the one thing, I'll share with you, one of my clients that I worked with last year, she came in with huge things that she wanted to accomplish, including money, by the way, right? And at the end of it, she accomplished so much, but it was all intertwined. But it was the same port, but she didn't see that it was the same port, because to her, everything was big, right? So I kind of like bring them into that oneness of what they're creating. And then we take that one thing with a timeline on it and we move on it. You take the steps one step at a time, and then you achieve it faster. She did what she thought she was going to achieve, the goal she started with me. She thought she was going to be 5 years in before she could see it. We did it in 6 months.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's
So
the power of coaching as well, for sure.
Yes,
I will
absolutely.
agree with that. Like I went 45 years without a coach and I floundered and spiraled and went in circles, and then got a coach, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's find some clarity and let's put put it in place step by step, exactly like what you're talking about. So here's my next question for you, Lorna. We're on the podcast, Your Leadership Legacy, right? So it's all about legacy. So I'm curious to know, when you think about the legacy that you're leaving, when you think about the legacy that you're creating every single day, what is that? So in 20 years and 50 years, what will people say about Lorna Sherland's legacy?
They will say that she was passionate for people, not just women. My dream is that everybody finds who they be in the world. But more importantly than anything, I talk about self-leadership, being responsible in the world, and taking yourself on so that you can support other people to take themselves on, because I think we're here for each other. And I want people to remember me as that person who taught other people to find that in themselves, the self-leadership in themselves. Because I think that once we have that, I believe that if everybody had the capacity and was being responsible in the world, that we would have a completely different world.
Yeah,
I truly believe that.
yeah, totally. I am in complete agreement with that. And I've literally everything that you're talking about, I've literally watched you in action and watch you create that on a daily basis right now. So it's really incredible to watch. So where can people find you, Lorna?
Well, I am on IG at Coach Lorna Sherland. That's Coach, COACH, Lorna, LORNA, Sherland, SHERLAND. And on Facebook, Lorna Sherland Official. And where else am I? Email Lorna at lornasherland.com. And my website is lornasherland.com.
Amazing. And I know you have an amazing program that you're building. Talk to us about the program that you've got going on.
So actually, I have two programs that I'm building. It's the same thing. The only difference is one is real estate focused. So I am coaching female entrepreneurs how to start doing real estate and building that financial legacy, right? Because I strongly believe that real estate was God's intention. That's why he said, have dominion, right? He said, have dominion over the earth. The earth is real estate. That's why I believe that. And on the other side, it's transformation and business strategies is what we talked about, how I teach people how to start from vision and all the steps to work it backwards so that you can move forward. And so those are the two programs I'm building out. And female entrepreneurs, if you're stuck and not knowing where to go and how to move forward, I can unstuck you and we can build it out faster than you think.
I love it. You should have a t-shirt. Let me unstuck you.
Yes.
I love it.
I love that. I love that.
Lorna, thank you so much. I love you, right? You're a sister, you're a friend, you're a business partner, you are a powerful leader. I love who you be. I love what you're creating in this world. And I'm a big fan. So everybody, if anything that Lorna said sparked your interest, look her up. Follow her. She's got amazing stuff on social media and all the good stuff. So with that, I guess we get to say goodbye, Lorna.
Thank you, Tina T. I love you. Thank you for what you're creating in the world. Thank you for having this podcast so that all voices can be heard, which is a legacy in itself. So I appreciate what you're creating and who you're being in the world as well. Love you, girl.
Amazing. All right. With that, everyone, we will see you next time. Bye.
My name is Tina Paulus-Krause, and I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Check out our programs and events at trueyouteams.com. And until next time, make it an amazing day.